Hello, good afternoon. I hope everyone had an awful weekend. And I mean that in a loving way, active wellness and functional living. I'm Jen, and we are starting our awful senior program. This is week 2, and this is day 1 of week 2. So 2 things, join us every day at noon for our lunch and crunch. We are not only here to exercise your body, but we are here to exercise your mind and educate you on how and why it is important to do these things. We strive to make things very realistic and give as many modifications as possible for everyone that has different types of needs, abilities, and those kinds of things, which gets a little more tricky the older that we get. So Medicare designates seniors as 65 and above. However, I am 40 years old and I do the senior workouts because I can modify them up and I can modify them down. I use them a lot for physical therapy for myself and a lot of my clients and my athletes. So anyone literally can do these workouts. They are geared more towards our senior citizens demographic. However, we're all going to be seniors one day, so it is very beneficial for you to do this at home also. So no more unlimited equipment. Today, all you need is a chair and your body. That's it. The other thing that I want to say is enter at your own risk. Here's my liability waiver. If you join in, you're signing it. I am not held liable, Jennifer Crochet or Active Wellness and Functional Living, for anything that may occur during you taking one of our videos. We always recommend check with your physicians first before you're cleared to start a new exercise program. And if you haven't joined us before, then technically we're a new exercise program because that's what we're here for. So today I'm going to go over warm-ups prior to workouts, seated versus standing, okay? In the health and wellness industry, we go to school, we take certifications, we do all of this stuff to educate ourselves on how and why and all that, right? And you're supposed to just show up at class and you just do it. However, I like for people and my clients to know why you're doing these things because we want you to apply them in your life, not just come to class for a workout. We want you incorporating these into your everyday life, okay? So seated versus standing. The first thing I'm gonna go over is a seated warm-up. And this is something that you don't have to do before class. This is something that you can actually do at home to get your body going, period. Just get your body going in general. Believe it or not, a lot of these movements I actually have my athletes do and even my gymnasts because it's just good for a warm-up in general. It just is, okay? Let me turn my music on. So from a chair, go ahead and get one that you can put your feet down on the ground. That means that I have, like right now, my computer set up on my bar stool chair, so it's higher up, and if I stood up, I would look like a little kid with my feet dangling. That's not what we want. We want you to actually be able to put your feet on the floor to get the benefits of the floor and balance and such. There we go. That was the music. It helps for me to have a beat. You don't have to have a beat. You don't have to have music, but it helps for me. I think everybody can see at that angle. Hey, Miss Pat. Hey, Abby. Okay, so seated warm-up. As I'm sitting down, do you see how my body, that this little curve right here? Okay, so just me standing down, just sitting down, let me mute this for a second. Just sitting down, I'm automatically going to start stretching my glutes and my hamstrings and everything, because you got to think of all of your muscles kind of like a rubber band. You're pulling them apart, okay? So as I sit down, I'm starting to stretch all of that. So it's anchored. So I'm literally just going to march in place. Okay, so you're just sitting up on the edge of the chair and you're just going to march in place. Every time I do this, I'm using my hip flexors, my abs, some of my quads to pick up my legs. So I'm starting to warm up those muscles already. The other thing I'm doing is as my knee comes higher, it pulls all of this muscles up in here into the back. So when you march, some people may feel that they're being pulled backwards. They may feel a pull in their back, because it's going to warm up all of these muscles in here and start stretching them in active movement, okay? So just a basic march in place. Look, you could be right here. It doesn't have to be high, but the goal is to eventually get your knees up higher as you're marching, and it'll open things up, and it's warming those muscles up while I'm doing that. okay? So then I'm gonna start by sliding my foot in and out, okay? So you don't have to drag the carpet or the floor. You're wanting to sit straight up, get that chest and chin up, and you're just moving that foot in and out. Look, it could be just this much, that's fine. You could pick it up, baby off the floor, and tap back and forth. What this is warming up is the inside of the thigh, the groin, which is an area that, no, not just men, I'm being very serious, women pull it all the time also because we don't ever work or warm this up, okay? Also, as I'm opening and closing, I'm using the inside of my thigh to close it back. We're gonna switch legs because this one's getting tired. I'm using the outside of my thigh and my hips to open. So this goes back to that flexibility, range of motion. Having those open hips are very, very, very important to lower fall risk. So fall risk prevention is keeping those hips warm and open and flexible. Oh, hey, Trasco. Nice. Okay, so once we have those open up, just so y'all know, this is playing right now. And the river wide enough, baby. Just had to go there. Okay, so I'm gonna try and find the beat on this. This time, I wanna start getting more muscles engaged and warming up more muscles. So, the higher I pick this knee up to tap over, you should start feeling those muscles on the side of your rib cage actually engaging and tightening up to move that foot up like a rainbow. You're doing it as high as you can. Now, you're gonna either lay back, whatever feels better, sitting straight up. And I try to usually do about 10 to 15 of these, so switch to the other leg. Nice. So once again, after about 5, and look, you don't have to go as fast as me. When I was coming back from physical therapy, when I was coming back from the fire, I was in Catherine's class, and there were people in their 70s and 80s going like this. And y'all, no kidding, y'all can even ask Catherine, she'll tell you. I was doing this. And I did about 5, and that was it. I think my first class back. I couldn't do very much, but I did what I could. So if you can go here and stay on beat with us, great. That's awesome. If not, then you just do what you can, because that's why it's a startup. That's what we're learning, to stay at our own pace within our own range. How do you get moving when you haven't been doing anything? One little baby step at a time, 5 reps, and that's it. It's literally what you do. Nice. Okay, so warming up, we're not only trying to get the muscles warm and ready and the blood pumping to those muscles and getting it up to the surface so that we can work those muscles. We're also trying to warm up the tissue, the ligaments, the tendons, all of this scar tissue, connective tissue, and all of that stuff that makes us really, really tight. We're trying to warm that up so we can stretch it out, okay? So after we warm that up, we want to stretch it out. So this is one of those moments that I would stop. We're going to lay back, and I want to, what is the point of you doing this, Jennifer? Take the basket. People can do this, but I like this one. I make a basket behind my knee, and we use a straight leg, or straight as you can get it, or you can curve it, whatever feels better, but you're just going to pull that knee straight to your chest, okay? I'm very flexible in my hamstrings. This is where I am super loose. From here to here, I am super tight. I can't get this thing to open up for nothing. But the point is, we're in that curve already, and we're using that curve to our advantage so that we can try and open this up. So some people may feel it in their back and their butt if it's tighter than their hamstring. If your hamstring's the tightest, you're going to feel it in your hamstring. It won't get to your butt or your back yet. Then we're going to close down, and then I like to hug my hands in, my knee to my chest, and we're going to warm the ankles up. Roll them about 3 to 4 times to the right and about 3 to 4 times to the left. And that's not the only motion that the ankle goes. So we're going to point as hard as we can, and then we're going to pull that toe up as far as we can. We're going to point the whole time, hold that cheek knee to the chest, and pull. One more time, we're going to point. You feel stretching all the top here. And then we're going to pull, and you should feel it all the way back to the heel and in the calf. Go ahead and let that leg down. We're going to do the other leg because we don't want one leg more flexible than the other, like we all probably already do, which is very common, very common. You're gonna close that knee down, and you're gonna hug that chest again. Okay, so now we're gonna do the other ankle. We're gonna roll it about 3 or 4 times to the left. I see there's some people up. I have to get there in just a second. Now 3 or 4 times to the right. So remember, now let's point as hard as you can while you're hugging that knee to your chest. Pull the toes up, pull the toes up, pull the toes up. Point. Pull the toes up, pull the toes up, pull the toes up. One more time. Point. Like I'm trying to say, oh, look at that dirt over there. I got a vacuum today. That's awesome. Thank you, COVID-19. I see all the places that I need to improve my spring cleaning. Pull the toe up and rest it down. So once again, we're staying in the seated position. So another one that you may see in the beginning of our classes or in the beginning of any of our workouts, most instructors, especially if you're a Silver Sneakers instructor, is going to be that kick, right? So usually we'll go from like my march and then I'll go to a kick. So 2 ways. This is a very deep chair for me, so I have to be kind of forward on the chair or else my feet legitimately barely touch the ground. Just go back and forth like this, which is acceptable as long as I'm moving. Or you can lean back a little bit and you're just gonna wanna kick. And once again, your kicks may not be this high. Look, your kick may be right here. It may just be this. Hey, this may be your kick. As long as you're moving, I'm fine. But let's try and warm the core up and the shoulders a little bit. So I will throw in a punch with a kick. Back and forth. What that looks like from the front is I march and kick, right? And opposite. See how, that's why I take Catherine's classes for my coordination. So I feel this in 2 places. I worked my back really hard on Saturday. That was all Sean and Ben's fault. Sean, Audrey, and Brian, that's your fault. So I did a lot of back work on Saturday, so my back's like really tight and sore. So every time I twist, it's stretching. I feel it stretching all the way across here and all the way across my shoulders. And I've been doing a lot of shoulder work to fix my kyphosis or my slouching. Okay, so we're doing a lot of work on my shoulder and my back. Nice. So what are we doing with this? Well, if you haven't been doing if you've been doing this, you know the muscles that I'm warming up, okay? But I will work with you. Every time I pull back and retract, and I have to punch out, I'm warming up my front delts or my shoulder in the front. I don't use technical terms because it's just confusing for people. Every time I punch and retract, I'll get close so you can see. When I punch and twist, you see that shoulder open and you see that muscle starting to close as I come back. And when I punch, that movement and watch as my core twists, all of this is tight and it's opening up. So that's what's happening in my arms when I'm doing that. Leave it, Amanda. And also the other thing that I'm doing is as I'm turning, kicking, and punching, I'm also warming up my hamstrings and my glutes, my back, pretty much everything, but my obliques will have to fire to pull back, and my front obliques and front core will have to fire to punch and twist. So literally, what are you warming up when you punch and kick? Your entire body. It works almost every single joint in your body, and it works almost every single muscle when it comes to getting the general muscle groups going, okay? So legitimately one of my favorite warm-ups seated is punch and kick. It's called a Frankenstein kick whenever we stand up. So I'm gonna take a sip of water because y'all know how I am. I need to hydrate. We're trying to stay hydrated. I want to usually stretch right here, but I really want to get into a warm-up movement. Get the legs really good. Another seated one for shoulders. I'll go ahead and throw that in here so don't forget. Is I love my favorite, lock them and rock them, right? Lock them together. If you can't, remember I said, make your fingertips just touch, and you're just gonna go back and forth. It's the shoulders that we're moving. We're moving the shoulders, not the body, like this. You're literally just going knee to your knees and as far back as you can and just moving them. If you can, lock them You can lock them together, but I like to lock and flip them up, and I feel that in a different place in my shoulders. And same thing, you're just going knees and back, knees and back, and now you just call back. I lock them and rock them. Lock them and rock them back and forth. And then, as you saw in the stretch, I would go stretch here, roll that thumb up. Then we go to these. So if you want to throw some of those in, I got to get something to drink real quick. Because then now it's getting dry. Oh, Mackenzie steals my... I mix my Gatorade 50% with water, 50% Gatorade, so I can get my hydration, but not all the sugar, but I get my electrolytes, and I make sure I get my water in. It's a little trick I do. She steals it, so I have to actually, like, put my my initials on it so she doesn't steal it. Okay, so that is seated. That's a seated warm-up, right? So that means that when I go to stand up from here, when I go to pick up a weight, when I go to pick up a dumbbell, a kettlebell, a yoga ball, resistance bands, the point of the warm-up and stretch is to get all the blood pumping to the muscles, and then we're stretching. We want them nice and open. If you don't warm up before you work out, or you don't cool down after you work out, this is where people get super tight. This is where they pull a muscle. They pull or tear or sprain something. That's the whole point of that warm-up. This is where your range of motion is going to come from, okay? This is where, now that I have these, I want these muscles warm and lengthened, so when I put a weight on it, it's ready to go, okay? If I just grab it dry and I try to pick something up, and this is cold up here, and this is warm down here, and this is cold up here, more than likely I'm going to pop or pull something, okay? So that's the whole point of warming up. So I should now be able to go ahead. Normally I would throw in some extra stretches, but we'll put all this together as the week goes on, okay? So there is from here on do some stretches, but I should be able to grab a dumbbell now, I should be able to grab some weights, and I can squat, right? I can safely sit in the chair and stand up. This is one of our favorite movements to do, chair sits, right? Because we all have a lot of trouble. I see this all the time. I see this. My favorite is watching people use their arms to push them onto their legs and stand up, and then tell me, my legs are too weak. I know, because you're using your arms to get you up. So this is one of our favorite ones, the chair sits. But if I just come into class and like, all right, let's go, y'all, people are going to pull stuff, okay? So before I ever put someone in a squat, a lunge, a push-up, anything, before they even do a body weight movement, they are going to warm up their body and they are going to stretch. So I do 30-minute specialty, like one-on-ones with my clients. They get 30 minutes with me. Their job is to warm up and cool down before and after, and I'm here for the work, right? So I can focus on their needs. And it's a lot more effective and a lot more financially feasible for people when you don't need me for your warm-up, you don't need me for your cool down, you're hiring me for everything in between. So I actually do mobility sessions and teach people how to warm up properly and how to cool down properly. So they get in the gym before me, they do their 2 to 5 minute warm up, and then they have their 2 to 5 minute cool down afterwards. So 40 minutes total if you have to. So now that's a seated warm up. Standing version of that. What did we start with? Marching in place, right? So we're gonna start with I'll see if I can get that beats good. Okay, so I'm marching in place. I'm marching in place. That's it. So notice, yes, pretend like it's a totally new workout. We just walked into the room. We're totally cold. We just woke up in the morning, whatever it is. No, I'm not marching like this first thing. Why? Because I have to get everything moving, right? So I'm going to start with those baby steps. And y'all see that I'm not doing this with my arms. I'm actually moving from the shoulder joint. And as I feel my body warming up, as I feel my blood pumping and my heart rate going up, and I feel warmer, I'm going to start picking my knees up higher. Doesn't matter what the beat of the music is. I'm working on stretching. I'm working on warming up and marching in place and picking my knees up. Because now While I'm standing, still working the same muscles. I'm still making that circle. See that? That rounding in my butt cheek. I'm still pulling on my hamstring, calves, all of that stuff, my back. So the higher I can get my knee, the more the warmth will go up. Right now, it's a little bit above my back of my knee. The higher you lift your leg, play around with it. The higher you lift your leg, you're going to feel it. If it's too much, guess what? Hold on to the chair. Raise one leg. Have the chair in front of you. Baby steps. Or, I'm switching up, y'all can tell. I'm facing the chair. All I'm doing is, I call this trading my weight off. I'm trading my weight from one foot to the other. That means that I'm not throwing my body side to side. I'm keeping my weight over my feet. I'm just trading my weight off. Okay? So that's our marching in place. Right? So I'll get there. So what do we do after that? We did that slide in and slide out. Well, yes, you can do that standing. Okay? And you can do that standing. Same thing. Hold on to the front of your chair. What you're doing is a side-to-side step. Y'all see that motion? My goal is to be wide and opening the hips up, right? But holding the chair, you're wanting to move back and forth. So I like to gauge when I'm teaching a class that has 25 seniors in it, what am I looking for? I'm looking for their feet to be as wide as the chair legs. I don't know if y'all can tell. Do y'all see me moving outside of chair legs? So this is a good way. You can put a mirror in front of you, use your camera, ask your spouse, your kids, your grandkids, the neighbor, can you see my feet moving outside of the chair legs, right? So that's how I gauge a lot of my classes to make sure that I've got people that are opening up and where their flexibility range is. I just gave away one of my secrets. when I'm teaching a class of 25 plus people, which I'm not usually a fan of, but that's how I make sure that I keep on point with them. So, same muscles, right? Inside of the thigh, you should feel it on the inside of the thigh. You should feel it on the outside of the thighs. You should feel it in the hips, okay? Same thing as we did sitting down. Only thing is I'm on my feet, okay? So if I start in a standing position and my warm-up starts there, I'm going to start that basic march. Then I'm going to get higher in that march, and then I'm gonna do the side-to-side step, okay? These are my just very, very basics, get it started, right? Senior startup. These are great in the morning. So if you're not holding on to your chair, what do? Well, we want to warm up your arms too, right? I mean, hello. So I like to do this. The side-to-side is helpful for me, or a modified jumping jack. The big thing is, some people like this, some people like this. This is one of my favorites because whenever we get elevated into double tap movements, later on, it's set up to just swirl in and you can throw that, there's a hop you throw in there. So that's why I like this one, but right now I just want you to get moving. Just keep going. Okay. Are we warmed up? Do y'all feel that? So 1 to 2 minutes, about half a song or so, sometimes a whole song, just getting those legs moving, and all of this is warmed up, y'all. All this, my pelvic area is warmed up, my lower abs, okay? I feel it in my glutes, I feel it in my hamstrings, the back of my thigh, my calves, my ankles are good. Still, what would I do? We stand up, roll that ankle to the right 3 to 4 times. And then guess what? Roll it to the left 3 to 4 times. And if you were with me during the seated process of this, what was the next thing we did? We're going to point, and pull. Point, and pull. Why do I say point? Y'all, I coach youth gymnastics. So they're point your toes. Come, point. I feel like I say that all the time, so I always say it's point your toes. And pull. Then we're going to trade the weight off, and we're going to roll it. Y'all, this ankle doesn't like to cooperate. 3 to 4 times to the left. 3 to 4 times to the right. Thank you. And point, and pull. When you pull, if you are standing up and your foot is out, you're pulling, you're probably going to feel it towards the back. Like I said, mine calf is straight, so that's what mine is. And I'm going to point again, and then I'm going to pull. And I think I did that 3 times. Who knows itches? Okay, so still Similar to the other stretches that we did. Okay, from here, before I move into the Frankenstein kicks, because I know what that's going to do, I need to open those hamstrings, and those side-to-side steps and those marches are great for this. So right here, I tell my clients, we open our feet, hold onto the chair. When you're up here, we make butterflies. I'll show you what butterflies are. It means I link my thumbs together, and when I do butterflies, I do this. If you have arthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, you want to move the joints, so this is what this is for, okay? So you'll hear me say butterflies, and this is what you're gonna see. If you see me say make caterpillars, you see that? See how I'm just moving the fingers all around? I know, it hurts, okay? I had a taste of arthritis not too long ago myself, and it sucks. God, I feel so bad for people with rheumatoid arthritis or lupus or anything like that. But if you hear me say caterpillars, that's it. We're just wanting to move those joints all weird and wiggly, okay? So when I say stay close to your body, we start with butterflies, my feet are apart, and I stay close to my body. I'm not coming down here and rounding my back and pulling my back. I'm following my body down, then you see my booty going back? As my butt goes back, I'm reaching out forward, and it's about my hip height or maybe a little bit lower. What I'm not doing is reaching down here and trying to make people fall over on their head, okay? What I'm doing is I'm using the weight of my arms and my hands to allow my butt to sit back, because if not, look where I go, okay? My weight's on my heels, my butt's going back like I'm going to punch somebody with it, and I'm going to reach out far forward so my back is straight. Now look at that straight back. Look how round the booty is right there. The name of the game, keep your knees as straight as you can. You don't want this, okay? You want this. That's where you're getting that hamstring. There's a rope, and it starts at your heels, and it comes all the way up here, all the way up here, and it follows all the way up into your neck and the back of your head. Actually starts under your toe if you have plantar fasciitis. That's the start of your rope, okay? So how do I safely get out of this? I'm reaching forward. I'm holding onto the chair here. If you are balanced enough and strong enough and advanced enough, you can be reaching out here. I'm going to pop my knees forward first. So I'm going to unlock my knees. So I'm sitting back. I'm going to unlock my knees. I'm going to put my hands, one of them usually, because I don't like people doing double-handed. I'm going to put one here around my back, and I'm going to come and roll up. And then I'm going to Rice Krispie roll my shoulders back. Why do I call it Rice Krispies? Because I have so much arthritis stuck in my shoulders. All I hear is crunch, crunch. So, next time, deep breath in, butterflies, follow the body down, reaching out, caterpillars, unlock the knees, round the back, roll up. My other favorite, heel toe, heel toe. This comes into place. Y'all learn heel toe. This is another warm-up that I use. You're trying to move, heel toes in, heel toes out. It's great for the abductor and adductors, i.e. the inner thigh, again, and the outer thigh, and hips. In and out. If it's easier to do 1 foot out, 1 foot in, these are actually Pat's fault. I started these with Pat 3 years ago, and it's been great ever since. Okay? This comes into play with sumo squats, and we connect sumo squats and lunges together. When I teach you how to transition from getting up off the floor to safely standing up, your heel toe is going to be your best friend. Okay? So now I want to do that last thing. Frankenstein kicks. Why are they Frankenstein kicks? Frankenstein. Why do people call them zombie? To me, a zombie is like this. I don't know. I just started with Frankenstein. I don't like zombies. I like Frankenstein. Okay? So safely start. You want to, if you can punch with it, I just act like I'm gonna tap my toe. Most people are not gonna be able to kick this high. I can kick this high. Very flexible in that range. So even if it's just reaching out front, even though your hand doesn't come there, doesn't matter. Opposite foot, opposite hand. So that means I'm holding onto the chair safely, right? Whether you hold it this way or this way, it doesn't matter to me. Keep that toe flexed and just kick. Once you get that, you're just going to reach out forward, not down. Reach out forward. Okay? So it'll look like this. You're going to do 10 on one leg forward. And then we go to the other side. Go to the other side. Same thing, get the leg going. Sorry, my text message went off. Get the leg going. Once the leg is moving a couple, then you're just gonna reach out forward. So as you'll see from here, once again, I am twisting, gotta get my core moving, right? I'm making that rounding in my butt. I'm keeping my toe pulled up so that I keep that rope nice and tight and it warms up. So now I can feel it all the way up here. It's warming my back up here. Why? Because my legs and my butt are already open. So this is where Jennifer gets tight. Y'all see that? Once again, you ate all my secrets. And then you're reaching, right? So we do about 10 on this side. Now, if you have the ability, you are just going to kick back and forth with your hands out. We are not going to go here yet. We're not going there yet. First things first, next to the chair, so you have your balance, you want to be able to get here before we throw in any twists or anything with not having our hands connected to something safely, okay? So that is, if done in a blended movement, or fluid, as I like to say, it takes about 2 to 5 minutes, depending on what kind of workout we're doing. I'll spend a little extra time warming up and stretching before strength movement, because strength workouts, because we're going heavier, okay? We're going heavier, we're going harder. We're usually going lower reps, higher, heavier weights, okay? So instead of lifting 2 pounds, I'm usually lifting a 4-pound weight, okay? So, let me turn that down a little bit, it distracts me. There is no step there. Ha! Oh, I spoke up with there and it was not there. You're welcome. If I'm doing more of a senior startup, which is stability, cardio, coordination, those smaller muscle groups, balance, all of that is in my senior startup classes. So that means I'm just getting the body started, right? I'm getting it going, I'm getting it moving, I'm getting my blood pumping, hence cardio. I'm starting the car up, I'm starting it up, I'm moving it around, we're just getting it moving. I like to start my Mondays and Tuesdays with a senior startup, balance based around balance and coordination, cardio, those kinds of things. Then I like to put in my strength days after that. If I work out 4 days a week, I normally would now recommend throwing in an aquatic class. Take the weight off the joints, but we can't do aquatics right now unless you want to figure out how to do that in your bathtub. I don't. My kids do, and the house almost floods when they play around in there. But right now, if I can't throw an aquatics in there for recovery rehab or reconditioning prep, then I'll throw another senior startup. Same thing. I like to end my week on Fridays, usually with that senior stretch, okay? And that's all about, you will see all kinds of stretching in there, all kinds of stretching. You're gonna see yoga, you're gonna see active stretching, you're gonna see mobility type work, you're gonna see static holds. Stretch is about, there's not one answer to all of it, okay? There's not one answer for all of it. So on those days of stretch, we're gonna throw in all those different kinds of stretches. And then Saturdays and Sundays, I take off, okay? Saturday's my day for myself, my workouts or whatever I wanna do. And then Sunday is family time, unless we have a gymnastics meet, which we don't right now. Thanks, COVID. So stick with me daily. This is warm-ups. I guess you could call this warm-ups 101. This is the seated versus the standing. Seated, if I'm starting seated, those are the best movements to do. If I'm starting standing, that is the best start from there. Now we have multiple variations of each one of these, and each instructor brings their different expertise and wit and knowledge and experience to the game. Therefore, we have 2 guest instructors that have worked with and still actively work with the senior citizen demographic. So they are going to be coming in doing some live videos for us over the next couple weeks also. So make sure that you give a shout out to them, say thank you. We're all taking our time and our energy and our efforts. And I'm sorry, this is my mental break from school stuff. So I'm liking it because we're trying to reach as many people as possible. So share the page, like the page, tell your friends and family. Look, y'all, these are great. Even if you're not a senior citizen, if you are stuck on that computer at home or you're stuck in that office, this is a lunch and crunch, 12 noon every day, 5 days a week. you can get moving. They're going to be anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes long. Heck, Amber does a great one where she does a yoga at the end of it, and it's about 45 minutes. You do not have to stay with us the whole time. If you're like, oh, I started the video and you only do like 3 minutes of it, if you only do the warm-up, you are still doing something. Just move. Get up and get active, okay? I have a disabled parent at home with me, and the big thing we've been focusing on together, because I was down for so long from the carbon monoxide and the cyanide poisoning, my dad and I are just getting up and getting active together. My bicycle tire's flat, so guess what? I am walking while Mackenzie's riding her bike. She's trying to talk me into jogging. Not there yet. I want to. Point is, get active. Get up, even if you only march in place for 30 seconds, y'all. That's it. That's all you do. It like once or twice a day. It's all you have to do. Okay? So, send your athletes, send your citizens, send your parents. Yes, Chabasco said, tell your mom to watch our videos. You watch them with us too. I know that you're heavy into your workouts. Look, these are great for rehab and for reconditioning. Okay? We go over technique. Big time technique. And those of you who know me personally, those of you who have trained with me I'm a student, but you will hear me say 100% all the time, you usually hear in all my workouts is technique first, speed and power later. Okay, technique is the most important thing about any exercise program, anything you're doing. Making a roux, hello from Louisiana. God forbid I put the stove on high to try and make a roux. I'm gonna get some ugly messages from my friends. You don't cook a roux on a high heat. You're gonna mess it up all from the back, jump, okay? So in everything in life, there is a technique. There's a technique to running. There's a technique to running in football, and each position has a different style of running. I know this because I've talked to the top guys, top runners in the NFL. Every type of run has a different technique. So guess what? Every age is different. Every style of workout is different. Make sure that you are getting with people who are teaching you the technique, and then it all comes together easily after that. Okay? So, senior startup, I think it's very successful today. If you have any questions, please private message us. Send us, heck, you can send me a video of your questions. I mean, I'm not big on reading either. So if you're just like, you know what, I want to ask you face to face, and you want me to see your face, great, just send us a video. But I want to address your concerns. I want to address your safety concerns. I've been a paramedic for 20 years. I worked actively for 11 or 12 years in the field, okay? So no one knows the needs of senior citizens better than me. I grew up in a nursing home from age 10 until I was 21 because my grandmother had multiple sclerosis. So it's not that I just went to school for this stuff. It's that I've lived it, and I've had the experience behind me. And if I don't, y'all, I have a huge pool of professionals and experts, from physicians to paramedics to firefighters, police officers, physical therapists, retired athletes, retired physicians, you name it, I will call someone and find an answer. Okay, so reach out to us, get the word out. We're trying to get our senior citizens up and moving and getting active. So I'm going to sign off. I will see y'all tomorrow, or you may see Catherine. I think Catherine may be doing it tomorrow. She may be doing a senior startup tomorrow. So she's going to put it all together. Catherine's phenomenal with cardio and coordination. I will not only be watching Catherine's videos when she does them, I take Catherine's videos when she does them. So join us tomorrow. Thank you for filling my love cup. Please go out and fill someone else's love cup today.